Hello.
Hello there, everybody.
Welcome to our podcast.
How are we doing today? We have a candle lit. It's 73 degrees outside. Just kidding. It's actually 30.
No, it's nice. It's like 66. 63. Okay. Yeah.
All right, it was 30 degrees yesterday.
Was it? Wow.
Probably. I don't fucking know. It's been cold as tits out.
I guess that's true.
Hello, everybody. We're chilling in a shed. This is the Shedheads podcast.
California
Also,
cold.
what we colloquiated as Dark Souls podcast because it's the hardest one to listen to.
It is.
Hopefully, you can make it through this one because should be. I don't know. We got some big things talking about here.
Yeah.
I mean, because I say big because we're actually talking about a game for once.
We're talking about a game.
I know, some crazy, wild shit.
We do it every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, so far, no, yeah, you haven't even given me a game at all.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I would trust you with a game rec.
I mean, you got to give me a short one like this one.
Yeah, I could probably do that. I'll be on the lookout for that.
I don't know, maybe when the semester ends and all that. When
Yeah.
time frees up and all, toss one at me.
Yeah, I'll look out for one. A short one for you.
And I'm going to make you play some of your retro shit. So,
Yeah.
guys, we're doing that. We also got a big old album
Yep.
on the itinerary.
We do.
Radiohead's OK Computer.
Yeah. Which we're not opening with.
No, we're not. I'm
No.
just saying that's what.
Yeah.
That's what's in store for us this evening, morning, night, day, wherever you're watching.
Yes. So hopefully you're probably into that because you clicked on this. So that's cool. I hadn't heard of this game that you recommended me until you recommended it to me.
Neither. I mean, I've only heard about it through one other person,
Right.
and I completely forgot about it. But it was one of those where it's like, oh, sure, I'll toss it in the old Steam wish list, get around to it one day.
Looks like an
and then
easy
and then you
complete.
never touch and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Looked like an easy complete.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta run around and get all the rest of the mementos and all that. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things, but yeah. Thought that was a benefit of me checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
Or like another contributor.
Right.
But yeah, it was just there, and it's like, you know what, it's probably short. It's a platform where I can go for something like that now from all the other like involved shit I'm playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the crux of this, is that sometimes just picking up a game and playing it is just will do you wonders.
Yeah. So
Same thing for like you and just picking out this movie, I guess.
a movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where like you just randomly
But you
I'm gonna
said-
check this one out and it's great.
I thought you said this movie, and I was like, we're not talking about a
No.
movie. All right. Then
Or like picking up, just deciding to go into this band and end up getting really into it.
yeah, we were kind of getting into it, so I guess I'll hit the timestamp here and we'll start talking about the game. Gris.
Man, you took my smooth transition and just like, all right, now let's set a big old flagpole here wall.
That's what we gotta do, man.
Yeah, you're
it's
just-
a timestamped show.
You're just like, cool Stokes in the bike. What if I poke it with a stick?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um
Now you're here. And we're talking about
yeah, rewind like a good 30 seconds because that's when we really started.
yeah.
Yeah, so you got it, you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you think.
I liked it a lot, actually. What did you think?
I think I already told you what I think.
You did?
Yeah, at the end of the last podcast, I said, yeah, I think it's a good game, and I really like it.
Yeah.
And I just said, like, randomly picking up something, and not randomly, but, like, just doing it on a whim will pay off in its benefits.
Yeah. You said it's from the developers or the something or
at least
other?
the same studio from Hotline Miami. I
Same
meant
studio.
to, like, do more research on this, but,
Okay.
yeah, you know how shit is right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is like when you go to the at least their Steam page.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's that there. There's a whole lot of other there's a bunch of other things they did too. So I'm not fully sure if it's like the same people that worked on it, but it's the same studio, you know?
Gotcha.
Where it's like Or it could be like, say, like Valve, where it's like it's one like place, but there's different people working on shit.
Right.
But that's still that's a different, yeah. So who knows? But maybe.
And you also
It's a neat
mentioned
little thing.
that they have nothing in common, basically, other
Yes.
than that, and that is very true.
Yeah.
This was a lot. This was nice and relaxing. Given I didn't have all the time in the world to get to it because it's been a crazy week for you and me, I think. And we had to cram and do this. So we didn't have like 2 weeks to get around to our recs this time. So I crammed it yesterday and this morning, and I was able to finish it in about, I think, like 3 hours. At least
I think it still took me like 4 on my first playthrough.
it might have been more like 4. I don't know. I just know I checked because the PS5 logs your hours.
Now, finally.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And like some of that was time paused, and I was trying to do it like this morning with my class just like muted, but
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, I did get it done. It only took a little bit. I would have liked to have gone through and explored a lot, because I could tell that there was a lot of exploring that could have been done and that I could still do.
Yeah, there's parts in each level where it branches out a little bit, and
Quite a bit.
there's lots of also hidden mementos too.
Well,
Sort of like they're not even parts that branch up, but like things where it's like, oh, how do I get there?
yeah.
Like, oh, I see a shiny. Sometimes you won't even see the shiny.
Yeah, I guess you know like the full extent. I'm assuming you've completed the game already.
Yeah, I did before I even wrecked it.
Right. So you know like everything that it has to offer, I guess. And I don't, but it seemed like there was a lot that I could have done that I didn't. It seemed like there were a lot of branching paths. Like I felt the FOMO by having to rush through it.
Definitely, yeah, definitely would have been better if you like were able to have like taking your time through exploring the level.
Yeah.
It could have paid off a little bit more in the world, because there's a lot of the mementos, as you probably noticed, they're attached to like different set pieces, you know, like it'll be like
Mhm.
it won't be off of a balcony and it'll like zoom out for a view.
Yeah.
Other places like you climb and it zooms out to like show, you know, it's all for set piece stuff.
Right.
So, and like, you know, mementos are missable, those are missable. Zooming this out and seeing some neat old art.
There were a lot of times where I felt like there, like, oh, I could go there and there and there and there, but like since I have to take May to the vet today, I'm just gonna go the right way, you know, the way that progresses me. Let me think. If I was gonna like compare this overall experience to something, it'd be like, you know, Inside or Limbo, I guess. But I think for me, this game offered something that those don't. With its visuals and music, actually. If you ask me what the music in Limbo or Inside is like, I couldn't tell you, or if there is music.
There isn't any music in Limbo.
Okay.
There is some in Inside, but not a whole lot.
Okay, well there
It's like
you
mostly ambient,
go. Right.
ambient stuff. But like the game, those games focus isn't like its point is that it doesn't use the music.
Right.
It could have helped, but like whole different other like discussion comparing them, because I think there's a lot more that Gris has to offer over those two games as well, like than just visuals and music.
I think
Because like you can look past that kind of stuff. Like there's definitely more that I feel like Gris improves on, because like you already like made the comparison. Like it's really like they're the same kind of like subgenre of games.
Right.
kind of formula, I guess. You know, it's a side-scrolling puzzle platformer.
I think, I felt maybe more challenged in those, but that's not, something that I'm saying is a plus. I kind of liked how laid back this experience was.
Yeah.
And I never felt frustrated. I didn't have to look anything up ever.
Mm-hmm.
I just there were a couple times where for a second I'd be like, but then I'd figure it out pretty quickly,
Yeah.
Was that how it was for you as well?
Yes. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Do you need like a pause of a second or just a second?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
That you can probably cut that. If you want to, or no worries.
We'll see.
What the fuck were we talking about?
I was asking.
Now my brain just went full halt. Yeah, but that's because I was more like, okay, most of these puzzles probably like have to be something to do with my new ability. There are a few parts where like I would just walk around and just would need to think, but like,
right.
Yeah, a lot of the solutions are like just shown in the environment and like based on what you can do, and it becomes a bit more involved by the time you're in, at the end at the last chapter, where you get like a huge level, and like you got to use different parts of your power up like in tandem. So like there is like some skill check, but none that are really gonna make your palms sweat.
No.
It's just like, oh, is this person a mild gamer?
Yeah, and it's
yeah. Bleh. Bleh. That's what you made me do. You made me stutter.
Did I?
Yeah. What were you saying?
As far as I could tell, you can't die in this game.
No, you can't.
Okay. I was like, or I just never like fell down a hole, but I didn't think there were any.
There are no holes. No, there's no leap of faith. Yeah, you can't die.
Which is nice, it's
because they do have shit that's off screen. You need to make like leap of faiths, like especially in the last chapter.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nope, no danger.
Right.
It's an interesting decision they made, but I think it pays off well. Because they didn't need to put that mechanic in. They didn't need to like, oh, let's just kill the player. No, not that, but like,
yeah,
like have hazards that could potentially be a threat,
Right. No, I think it was executed very well. Especially
this is more on like how you traverse the environment and all that.
Yeah, its design was pretty much perfect. I mean, it pretty much always funneled me where I needed to be, I felt like. And
I mean, Limbo and Inside do that too. They're all like fairly linear,
Yeah, I feel
as
like
a side scroller is gonna be. Yeah. But like at least with Limbo, there's a lot of trial and error and really clunky controls that made like doing everything and knowing what to do on the first try, impossible.
Right, but it is much more linear, I think, than this. Or at least they do a good job of making you feel like there's so many places you could be going, but it's always funneling you still where you need to be.
Oh yeah, like by funneling in, there's like a couple spots where it checks you to see if you have enough stars to move to the next part of the stage.
Yeah.
It's kind of like branching like little sub levels, where it's like I do these challenges, some of which you can do in any order you want, but they all need to be done for you to progress.
And it does the kind of, I like how it doesn't take you out of the game or anything to read a little bubble telling you how to play it. It does like the more classic like Crash Bandicoot type of introduction, just throw you in there, and it's like a very basic level of skill, next to nothing at the beginning. that you would need whenever you unlock like some kind of new mechanic, and it shows you in a situation with like kind of no stake or anything, how to use each new mechanic. And I applaud the design.
Yeah, it's very clear that they like put a lot of care into levels, the abilities, and just walking it through. Definitely like a point that I'd be making, like I said, I want to write a review on it, is how accessible the game is.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's at this point, it's like gaming is such like a culture. There's almost like some ingrained like standard that we have of how like it should work. So most of the time we pick up a controller and already know like have some form of expectation of what button should be doing,
Mm-hmm.
and how the game would work. And like a lot of I mean, you still get that like a little like you get like a cutscene where it's like a prompted, so you're like, oh, do this very good,
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. I always thought like in terms of like that part, Valve did it the best with Portal. That just kept introducing you like new things and safe environments, and like it essentially like this could be anybody's first game.
Yeah.
Portal is that, and Gris is one of them as well.
It's like it takes like the Mario approach.
After the after the cutscene, all you have to do is just hold right, which you're gonna do. You're gonna hit a button eventually.
Yeah.
And then the game will respond, and then it's just one thing after another until it snowballs, and then you get the ability to turn you into a cube, and it's just, hey, press this button, boom, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
And like there's no other like things to know, like everything is inferred from the world itself,
yeah.
Like with its puzzles, like you can grasp what to do.
I like how minimalist it was with mechanics as well.
It doesn't mince words now.
You only unlock a few things, like the cube.
Well, you unlock a bunch of things that like help your movement. I think you get 4 things. You have the cube. You can then jump with the red birds.
Mm-hmm.
You could double jump and glide, and then you can swim.
Yep. Like it's pretty.
And they all like alter her dress and shit. It's like so fucking so neat how they do that.
Yeah, I would call that pretty minimal compared to like most video games.
It's still more mechanics present than in Limbo or Inside, though.
It does
combined.
It does all that it needs to with very little, and I like that about it because I think that adds to its accessibility, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the people who looks at a game with like the more like menus that you have in a game, the more confused I am. So like I just appreciate when a game takes it down to my caveman brain level.
It also really does depend on like how the menus are laid out, but I totally get it.
Yeah.
From like a first glance.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially if the game does fuck all to like explain to you those menus.
Yeah, it's just like overload.
But like
info overload.
Yeah, you would. They're going to be like a necessary evil sort of thing, where it's like the more complex the game is, the more things you're going to need on screen to like, like display that information.
Right. Yeah, I think this.
But that's, I guess you can say it's a positive of the genre, rather than like the game,
Yeah, this game did charm me more by far, like than Limbo or Inside, which I think those are good games, and like I think Limbo's still better than Inside even, but I think this had that extra layer kind of, because I would say visually Limbo interests me more than Inside, and visually this interests me more than like either of those, like by a long shot, because every frame of painting.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that in my thing too. I mean this this game very much takes that mantra and runs with it.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a spot where the game doesn't look good, and that's a lot to do with like its hand drawn animated style.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and from what I can tell, it as far as like what you could kind of glean as far as like a story or anything, I don't know if there's
Damn,
some.
you jumped right to story. I thought we were talking about the art still.
No, well, I don't know. I think it can just flow.
I mean, go for it.
I think, as far as I could tell, it's just a pretty interpretive story. Because they don't tell you anything. It's all visual.
I think I still have enough context to like form and like interpretation on it.
No, yeah, that's
yeah.
Because I have an
I
interpretation.
can go into that like in reasoning based on what the game shows you.
Yeah, I have like what I interpreted, and it may or may not be like what other people would walk away with, and it may really like clearly be something else, but I like that it's kind of open for me to have that have that own meaning, personal thing to me, you know. Yeah.
Sure, I mean, yeah, you can apply whatever you want to this since it's just visual. You only get like yeah,
it's clear that like and I got there from the visuals because obviously color plays a major role in the story.
well, also like the level and the art too.
Mm-hmm. But color is like a
It's the visual indicator that you've progressed.
Yeah.
Like a certain you progressed in the game.
And there are trophies based around it even.
Well, yeah, I mean those are participatory.
Yeah.
You know, those are like, oh, you beat this chapter, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are named after the colors, which is cool.
Yeah.
But by the end, you know, the chapter there's a huge, you know, obviously like the first like prologue was just black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Like a white background and then just red, but now you get all these mixture and gradients of colors and all that.
Yeah, green and
no, like even just alone in chapter 5, like you get everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, by the end.
Like it's overload.
But like you get red and then green, blue, and yellow, I think.
Yeah.
All the colors. Yeah. So if they're I don't know, did you want to comment on something else about the visual?
Okay, we're back at visual. I that was like the next thing was color. Yeah, also it plays into the environment too. You know, like in chapter 3 where the trees like move, like they're like a blanket tarp thing, but yeah, they will make platforms like in timing and all that. So it's just like a little quirk with how like the world is designed artistically, but it plays into like the game and how it functions.
Right. Yeah, I love the way just the world kind of the game world moves in general in the game. You're talking about how it looks when the platforms disappear and reappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little animation thing it plays.
Yeah, I love that. I was gonna say something else about that, but I was just gonna comment on the kind of the art style, I guess, like the line work.
The line work. What about it?
Yeah, I mean it. I use that word because it literally like looks like some kind of like beautiful tattoo or something. The trees, the way it's
well, it's all like a light, like impressionist kind of style.
Yeah,
you know, or like it very exaggerates, like, you know, the tree branches. So like they go like super tall and like just how the leaves. It's just very simplistic. It's just shapes essentially. It's all like very digestible. And then like even when it gets to chapter 5 where things are more complex, it's just a bunch of, U's and parabolas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of dips, ramps, and such.
Yeah. I was gonna.
And that's also easier to get into a game too, to like let you know, like, oh, this is what you can walk on and not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was talking about how, like, I don't know what the style's called, where it's like a bunch of lines kind of close together instead of actually having like solid.
The shading, the gradient.
Yeah, like the lack of shading, I guess. Instead, just having like the lines close together.
Now I don't know what you mean. That is like how you shade, like with the pencil. Like that's a technique of shading.
Yeah, no, I mean like the branches.
Line shading.
Like
the
branches. The way like the tree branches look.
I mean, just how they're like really thin and they like go U-shaped up.
Yeah, I guess so. I was commenting on that. That's what I meant like when I said line work, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was just a beautiful game.
Anything else you gotta say about it, or
The visuals?
or just whatever,
Oh,
Because more about the visuals, I guess, like with the game too. Like when it, like how the red birds are a thing. They actually just become hidden, but you can still see it like within the art style. Like it's still a distinct thing. It's just red triangles.
Yeah.
And like the parts where like they're hidden in vases and stuff. Like it's just like a small indicator that like no, it's not the jump indicator. So then you just know like trying all the other shit that you can do with it. You end up like smashing them open with the cube, and then you do the fly thing. It's all very fucking neat. Like they took care into like how shit like is designed with the world and how it works with the game. Like they know what they're fucking doing, and somehow, like with how the levels are and everything, the game is like really like backed by its soundtrack. Like awesome. That's what I wanted from Limbo, but like it's even more effective here than what I even wanted talking about Limbo.
Right.
In that like this, it's somehow I don't know how the fuck they manage it, or if I'm like if my playthroughs were that lucky. I felt like the music was syncing up with the game. They would like they would transition to different songs, different parts of like the same track, like the chorus part would come the same part as like it needs to. And I don't know how the hell they managed to get that to work. A few parts, like sure, like where they're cutscenes and everything. But like parts where I had full control, like timing was completely up to me, and it still managed to transition. In parts where like they look like they should. That's magic to me.
Right.
I don't know how they managed that. Like it is like really pivotal for like soundtracks to do like a multitude of things. A couple of them are not to get the track sounding too repetitive in case like the player wants to like stay in the level or they can stay in there however they want, and you need to get the music not sounding boring or monotonous or like annoying. Need to keep that melody up. And the second is like possibly transitioning into another track of the same whole OST. And it just transitions so fucking just like it did no effort. It just worked out for it.
Yeah, no,
it's just somehow it manages to do it. Like you can't I can't pinpoint it.
It's definitely seamless, and it's definitely very deliberate. I was gonna say that's like a thing that I feel like we're gonna see more and more games doing. Because
I fucking hope. I genuinely don't know how that works, like down to a technical level.
Well, there is another game that's done that. I want to say it was Death Stranding, but I really can't remember. Where like depending on what you were doing on screen, the music would adapt. Like you're going
games already do that, but I mean with like how this game like transitioned, like the sound, like the track different from track to track.
Right.
You know, sometimes you get like a really like shittily lazy like fade out and then fade into the next track.
Right.
Or they'll like crash into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or some other games will just opt to like have no music until like something happens and then they fade it in.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's just like you go from one track to the next. I mean, okay, I listened to the soundtrack,
right,
like all the way through. Like tracks are different, and it's like, how the fuck in the game do you go from like this part in chapter 3 where we're all like happy, like meadow sounding, and then I walk by my own timing, and like it still makes sense musically to shift into the boss thing,
right?
You know, or like they're. I want to get more examples of those. Like I want to try to pinpoint that shit, but I'm afraid of like looking behind the red curtain, you know,
to
like figure out how that works.
Yeah, I can't say I know how exactly it works, because like that's something you would know before I would know, honestly. That's more the how the sausage is made.
The sausage, yeah,
of the game. But I definitely, I don't think it was just like a series of coincidences or anything for you, because I felt the same way with the music.
Yeah, it's more like my first thought process was like, was this a coincidence? And then later it's like, no, fuck, it can't be.
It was just like completely blissful soundtrack.
Okay, before we talk about the soundtrack, we need to pause. I need to pee real bad. All right, well, now that your house is flooded, we can now talk about the music.
The music?
Yeah, what did you have to say about it? Like, you pay attention to it a lot? I mean, it's kind of hard not to. You know?
Well, I more want to hear what you have to say, because you're usually better with your with your descriptors for music.
The thing is, like, I want to fucking write the review on it, so, like, because I want to do it, like, justice. I've heard the soundtrack through, I think twice now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still want to listen to it more. The opening track for the cutscene, holy shit! That's everything I wish I could do. They got everything going there. Like, it is choreographed with what is happening on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Very climactic with the brashes and the whole bunch of different instruments entering in, like changing the kind of the flow of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Like how it opens, like with the singing, actual vocal track, which isn't used very much. It's only used in like 2 tracks. That's
right?
Because it's a very important motif in the story. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of shown with the music too. Yeah, but just fucking hell, just seeing like Gris fall in the cutscene, that puts some goosebumps on my nutsack. That's the powerful moment.
Yeah, you're I'm gathering that I definitely need to play it again. I think
I really just want to play it again too.
It's really hard for me to take in what's happening at the beginning of any game, I'll say, because like I don't know why. It's
definitely worth a replay, like now that you kind of get like what the game is throwing at you.
Yeah, it takes me a minute for anything to see, like, once I've experienced the whole thing and I know like kind of what's going on and where it ends up going and what I'm in for, like I can comprehend much better on a repeat.
And it will not do you justice, like if you don't listen with some good headphones.
Okay.
Good audio stuff.
Yeah, because I was playing it like this.
Yeah, I was playing on my fucking phone. I mean, I wouldn't say play it on Switch, like handheld at least.
No, I was playing it on the TV here.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up.
Yeah,
I was like, God, imagining it like playing it on that would be kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can still enjoy the game, but yeah, I really love the music in chapter 4, the depression stage.
Mm-hmm.
The depression music. It's like I don't even know what half the fucking the sounds are, to be honest. But I think it's like I don't even fucking know. It's so wavy, delicate. It's kind of like a really like high-end guitar like being pitched up.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a very marine-like vibe if you can like get anything from that descriptor. Almost like it's like as if it's a whale or a manatee like squeaking at you.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of the music just make it sound like it's part of the environment, and that's one of them. So you get a lot. Okay, you get a lot of the cello, like throughout. I just knew it's a good ass instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely want to write more on the soundtrack.
I want to kind of just turn on the game and then I could play it, that's fine, but I just want to like experience the sound and the visual.
The menu music
together
even is
again.
fucking like ominous, you know?
Yeah.
It's very like it's very space like, you know? I like whoever composed the person who did compose it is like really fucking good at like pinpointing what something should sound like.
Mm-hmm.
It gets hard to like even describe.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'll try my best like actually writing it down. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm glad you're going through it, especially because you know like what stage had what music and all this.
I think a track that's lacking is in chapter 2.
Okay.
The red one, because like where it's just like the soft piano, and then when the wind kicks up, it's all pipe organ and it's going nuts and crazy.
Oh yeah, okay. It's funny that you said that, and like the sound of that wind came back into my head because I haven't been able to remember anything else specifically.
I mean, it does its job in like its association with the stage. I just think musically it's kind of lackluster compared to everything. Just because the piano sounds like it's just meandering around, it's not really playing any real melody, and then the pipe organ just somewhat fades in abruptly.
Yeah,
like there's no it could have. I don't know. I feel like with everything that we've had, it's like it could have been a little more interesting in that way. And also the pipe organ is a bit like blaring and much.
Right.
And it would be like, and I guess if they really wanted to do that, it could be cool if the pipe organ was a variation from the piano, but it's not. At least as far as I can tell. That would be like a more classical thing to do.
It sounds
establish the melody and motif and then make the variation.
Yeah, it sounds a bit chaotic.
Well, because it's doing, I think it's doing octaves. It's doing like a very Bach, Beethoven kind of like progression.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not varying like any melody, so it's just hard to grasp onto.
Yeah, to me it just sounds like it's going like, but like,
just, yeah, there's a lot like to comprehend when there's 16th notes being played.
Yeah,
guitarists know like 16th notes; they're scary.
There's a lot going on. Yeah,
the
I didn't
chapter
know
3 is just a fucking vibe. The forest.
Oh, Brick Buddy.
Yeah, Brick Buddy. Is that what you call them?
Block Buddy. That's what I call them. That's what I call them. Yeah.
How do you like Block Buddy?
I was sad that we didn't get to keep him.
He's my fucking favorite. I love him.
Yeah.
He really does look like the guy from Battle Block Theater though, with like his face.
Oh really?
Yeah. His face is reminiscent of like old Steam days.
I just was like, stick buddy.
I was just really happy that we got to like go through the tunnel and see him like at the end of the level.
Yeah. And then we got to feed him apples throughout the level.
Yeah.
That was pretty great to gain his trust. I like the...
Did you go through and feed him all the apples you could?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wish there was like a little bit more of the puzzle kind of having him follow you around and he like copies all your movements, because I really like that one.
Yeah, they did it once.
Yeah, and that made me kind of like think like, oh, that was them getting me ready like to do this for a bit. And then you don't.
Nope, that was just it.
Then he starts following you.
That was just the puzzle. I mean, it's really cool like that inclusion of that.
I like that.
I want just described, but like I think it's fine that it's just in there once because like what then else would they test you on?
I don't know. I wanted to see what they would do with it. And I was just kind of let down that there wasn't more of that, but that's also okay.
Yeah, I guess missed opportunity. Who knows? But I'm still I'm still happy we got that little puzzle.
Maybe they felt like there was nothing else to do with it. I don't know. Maybe there wasn't.
I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, I was
you
happy.
Can't die.
Yeah.
And he only follows you for like half the level.
He did help you.
You did get some other puzzle.
Yeah, I like the one where you and him alternate, like who's
breaking
on
the blocks in the bridge. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I really like the bridge stuff. Yeah.
And he mimics your blockage.
It really tripped me up to when I was on the lower part of the bridge and like he was with me and then the tree like faded and then he's on the top. I was like, what the fuck? How'd he get up there?
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
He cheated. He's hacking.
I didn't know how he got up there either, but I quickly realized I had to turn to a block.
It was a cute little visual thing.
Yeah, I did that.
You also could see him running around on the foreground, like in the beginning of the stage.
Yeah, hiding from.
I didn't notice that the first time.
Oh really?
No.
Yeah, I saw.
I was taking in everything else, you know.
I saw him hiding from me.
I very much took my time to take everything in, as you should.
I think I legitimately plan to go back and re-experience it. Just like going slow, listening and absorbing the world.
This is going to be one of the rare games where I actually go back and revisit.
Yeah, because I haven't done that. Even though like there are some that'll say like, oh, I've got to do that. I guess technically I've played Portal 2 since we talked about it, but
you did the co-op.
Yeah, but that's kind of it.
I mean, I'm playing Dark Souls on the channel, on the gaming channel. If you guys want to see us actually play the games.
The main one, yeah.
Yeah. I'm replaying that, but mostly for the channel. Not like I wouldn't replay it though.
Yeah.
I just don't replay it very much, but I'm gonna.
Right.
Yeah, anyways, where the fuck were we?
Kind of just
doing the soundtrack.
Miscellaneous mechanics at this point. And we were talking about Block Buddy, so. Yeah, I guess that started with you talking about Chapter 3's music.
Yeah, or just the vibe and just in general, the lighting too.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that
I'm just a slut for forests, like kind of look.
I'm glad that we got color pretty quickly. I was worried that all the white was gonna hurt my eyes at first, depending how long it was there, because I was playing it at night.
That is like the thing I remember hearing what this game was about. I was like, it's about putting color back in the world.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, fuck. I guess yeah. But without hearing that, what would you say the game is about? I want to know. I want to hear this.
Well, that's the thing, because there was once or twice that I checked the long play to see where I was, just because I didn't want this to be a case where I was taking too long, and wouldn't finish it. And so like the last time I checked, I was like 10 minutes from the end because I was surprised it wasn't over, but it basically was. I just didn't realize it. And I like went to the comments and everyone was talking about like this interpretation that is probably the right answer, but with me not thinking about that, it was just about depression and putting color. Yeah, the color coming back in is obviously like just kind of like in the way Celeste is about depression. Is kind of how I saw this.
Sure.
And
I meant more like how would you describe this game to someone?
Oh, okay.
Like who never heard of it? Like how would you like oh Gris? Yeah, what's it about?
Yeah, I mean,
because I have trouble I've had trouble like doing that when it comes to thinking about it. You know,
I would bring up Inside and Limbo and say like think like that as far as 2D platforming and puzzles, but it's a lot lower stakes, a lot more chilled out, accessible. It's beautiful. It's more the colors I think are like a really strong aspect of it. One sec. Or actually, you can talk.
I can talk, but he has to go stop his cat from chewing at lights and burning the whole house down and setting itself on fire. That could be a game. It is a game. It's called Who's Your Daddy? Welcome back.
Thank you.
That game, by the way, is about you as like it's a 2-player game.
I know
one of you
that
plays
one.
a baby, and one's a dad. Baby's trying to kill itself. Dad's trying to stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave the audience hanging. You know,
Right.
kind of run them through that fucking classic.
So yeah, in short, I don't think that's a bad description about putting color back in the world, but I would cite something like Limbo or Inside as well.
I guess I assume like they haven't played it either.
Yeah, I would.
I just don't like being like, oh, it's like this other game too, because then it sets some form of expectation.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I think that's really helpful. Like, I think it was Fantano. Yeah, Fantano said like whenever he talks about an album, the first thing he does is think of artists that he can draw the sound to, like who it sounds like, because it's just like the easiest way to communicate to someone sort of something that is wholly new to them. So I think it's a good way to discuss.
I think it works better for music than games, though.
Really?
Yeah, because the band can have a sound to them, and it can broaden like, oh, maybe you've heard of this one, so that you can associate that sound to.
For
I
me,
guess for Gris, it's easier because of its genre, you know.
yeah, for me it works like
Like we can cite like, oh, it's the same like kind of style and genre as Limbo and Inside if you've played those.
yeah, for me
I
it
think it's
works like
fine.
kind of across the board in that like as a human it's just like it's easy. It's easy to associate things.
Yeah, I still take it with a grain of salt with games, just because
Sure.
you can make the case that Breath of the Wild is like Dark Souls or the other way around. It's like you could say that for like describing
could,
the game,
but
like they're way fucking different.
You could, but you should probably draw it to a game that makes more sense to draw it to first. But
yeah, but some people aren't always going to do that. That's
Sure.
why I just like at least take it with some salt, maybe. I don't know.
I get you.
Anyways, what the fuck were you talking about? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how I would describe the game.
Yeah, I asked you
Yeah.
to do that. There you go. That's a little the highlight reel of your quick descriptor thing.
Yeah.
Review recommendation. You just described it.
Yeah, and I got like a little bit into my interpretation at the beginning because I was confused. But yeah.
I mean, like that's still the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Say what it's about. It's like you can go into the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What did you want to say? Because now my mind's on story.
I mean, I guess we could talk about that too.
Sure. So what it sounds like it's about is what happens at the beginning. I can't remember the beginning, which is maybe why this slipped my mind and why I said I need to go back, because maybe your mom dies at the beginning or something. Does that happen?
Yeah, you're pretty much there. So
Okay.
in the beginning, it just shows Gris just in the hands and the palms of something. We don't
That's what
see
I
yet.
thought. Yeah, I was like,
and she's just singing the main melody. We get also their introduction to the art style and all that.
yeah,
Then suddenly there's some like, I think there's an earthquake. There's some disturbance in the force, and she loses her voice.
yeah,
And the statue starts to crumble, and then darkness overcomes, and she's falling.
yeah.
And the world, it's just all like this grandiose way of showing like, oh, yep, things are crumbling, colors being drained from here, Gris is falling. And then that's pretty much where the game starts.
And then I'd assume the most the intended way to interpret this probably is that what you're experiencing is the stages of grief.
I would just say that's canon, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Because there are achievements that are based around those. Like each chapter corresponding with the 5 stages of grief.
right, that's what everyone was talking about in the comment section, and I found like one other comment who said like they were thinking like I was about it just being about depression. I was seeing all the cracked kind of sculptures of a woman as like kind of the literal like physical version of Gris. I guess I didn't notice that they weren't the same. They didn't look the exact same. But kind of just, you know, a representation of a person who's cracked or whatever.
We do get the woman statue like quite a bit throughout the game.
Yeah.
It's tough to say like what the who that is. You can definitely interpret it as like the character, the main character, like us, the protagonist, you know, like Gris and Minnie. That's kind of the interpretation I'm leaning on, honestly. But like before I get into that, I'm gonna be playing it more and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I guarantee it will change because like I didn't have any. You know, I completely forgot the beginning, which was pretty important.
I'm just trying to uncover things that are like tangible, like part of the game.
Yeah,
it's very clear. Like, yeah, this is 5 Stages of Grief. There are like different parts of the level that show the statue and different things.
Yeah, I just took like the whole thing to be depression because like it was bleak at the beginning, and then you bring color, but it's red. I thought like I thought the red came about from bleeding. Did it?
I think broader. I think more broader than just depression. I would say, just about going through a difficult time.
Yeah,
and how that is, and like how it's illustrated almost internally.
Yeah,
and that's what the almost what the Steam thing says as in like the description of the game.
Okay,
it's like Gris is a girl's going through a tough time, and then she gets new abilities through her dress to traverse the world and all that.
Yeah, I saw it as we were kind of slowly but surely getting stronger and better and stuff. And then there is the point where you kind of get hit over the head with the blackness and shit, and it goes back down. And I was
not
like,
the blackness.
Not the blackness. Yeah, like it's just that seemed like it's after you like fall through the statue who's holding you, and it seemed like kind of what happens with something like depression if you struggle with that, where you can just be doing better, and then it's like a relapse or whatever.
It's definitely an illustration of that, or could be interpreted as that.
Yeah. So that's how I took that, and then kind of finding your voice towards the end is kind of like, that's where I said the thing about Celeste, because most people, I've heard that game is about like, it's really hard, but it's supposed to be a metaphor for overcoming depression.
Well, yes, because it's like a mountain, you know.
Yeah.
It's like trial and tribulation. I think Gris is again more broad than that.
Yeah, so I found the finding your voice at the end thing being like, you know, finding your voice. That's you can also, it's a metaphor.
Yeah, but like, yeah, everything is a metaphor, you know, like that in terms of like interpreting it, because like the dark beast, pigeon, fucking void monster, which is fucking like cool, by the way. Like see it just like morph and change and shit, animation, intimidating too. But yeah, that you can take as anything really. Like not just depression either. It could be like any like mental thing you struggle with. Could be even a person, you know. Like hell, there's even the interpretation that like maybe the dark thing is like is an abusive boyfriend person to this person that just won't let them go, and the turtle like will protect her because this is a good person. People that she's surrounding herself. Like you can take it a multitude of different ways.
Yeah,
but ultimately, it's this awful thing that is persisting and like tearing apart her world, trying to actively like seek against her growth.
Right.
It is a struggle she has to overcome.
Right, and I guess
and we as the player do, because that's
I guess a common takeaway is that the thing she experienced was her mother's death, and then she's going through the 5 stages of grief.
And that's confirmed in the game.
There you go.
You collect all the mementos, and it shows that. It shows you get a cutscene of human Gris as a kid and sharing a memory with her ma.
Oh, that's cute.
It's really adorable, and it's a neat reward for getting all the mementos. Really cool. I do wish though, on the subject of mementos, that they were more substantial, at least visually, because they're just a circle that are just in a certain spot. You have to do, I said, some platforming or puzzle or just finding a hidden area to get.
Yeah, I gathered that those were some kind of special thing, but I didn't know really what the hell.
They're not really
did.
discernible from stars visually. In stars, they serve a whole different purpose. But I don't know.
I found them discernible because they do have the circle around them.
Yeah, but they're still just a circle that you collect.
Yeah,
in the moment, that's all it is.
Yeah, they don't really stand out.
They don't really give you anything in the moment. It's just you got it.
Yeah, I realized that they were collectibles after I got 1 or 2, but I couldn't tell what it was really doing for me by grabbing them. So yeah, I see that.
What else? I mean, we talked about this for quite a minute already. Talked about it for a good hour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good. If you're ready to move on.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I am pretty good. If you had anything else to say, go for it.
I feel like I was on something. Oh yeah, also in when you
probably drugs.
When you get all the probably, aren't we all? I see that pill bottle there.
Must be on drugs.
Let's see. Yeah, in the beta artwork, or no, the concept art beta artwork. God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the concept art, it's different dress designs for Gris. And
mm-hmm.
one of them is 5 separated rainbow colors with eyes in the middle of them. Each supposed to be represent 5 stages of grief.
Right.
And I'm glad they didn't go through with that, because that would have been way too much visually
mm-hmm.
and way too on the nose thematically.
Right. I want to see that though. I'm interested.
Oh, you get it, but just by playing the game.
Okay.
Just do all the things, get the platinum, and then you get the thing. You also get new tracks too, some more music. So they're actually hey, here's some more shit since you like the game. Wow,
cool.
A game that actually does that.
Completion bonus.
It's almost like the developers are actually cared about this game. Which also, I guess, to transition to some form of conclusion, it is kind of sad that not more people are talking about this.
Yeah,
it seems it's overwhelmingly positive, but you don't really see games like this stand out in when people cite games that you should play, or the greatest of this year or whatever. When does fucking come out?
2018.
Okay, it was 2018. I was it wasn't. It's not recent, but it wasn't too long ago. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, 2018. Damn, that really was a good year for games. Holy shit!
I really love games that I find visually appealing. Obviously,
this game is This game's firing off on all cylinders.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You got artists that are competent, that know what they're doing. More than that, that's an understatement.
Mm-hmm.
They're masterful in this, and so is the composer. The game developers actually took time into designing the game for it to make sense.
Yeah, you don't always find something that's
it's airtight.
That's such clearly a passion project and so inspired.
It sucks. You get fucking AAA games that put fuck all effort into writing and story and just but they'll throw millions of dollars into the budget and the fucking marketing,
Or
Only-
giving you something visually interesting.
Only for people to blindly follow it because it's part of a franchise that they liked. Meanwhile, games like this will be swept under the rug because it's indie. Like that's depressing as fuck. I mean, indie games are getting a lot more like, more of a resurgence.
Yeah.
Like they're not like undiscoverable or anything, but they're not like getting enough recognition for something that actually is, of good quality like this.
Right.
It's like I didn't even think about it, but I also I don't know, just from what I played already like this year so far, Jedi Fallen Order, Miles Morales, like they got the universes and marketing behind them, Spider-Man, Star Wars, but Gris is definitely a better game than both of them. I'm pretty comfortable saying that.
Yeah, I thought you were really into that Star Wars game.
It's really cool visually, but it's just, I don't know, that's a whole other topic. It's like I think it barely just misses the mark, to really like push itself, stand out, I guess.
Right.
It's passing, I think.
Yeah, I think indie devs are really where the creative shit is coming from. So
You get all the passion projects because
not really a hot
at the end of the
take.
day, the only thing that the suits care about is making money. Is
Mhm.
what's going to make the money? A new installment in this in this franchise.
Right, and those franchises, a lot of them were started by someone who did give a shit a long time ago. But
Yeah, exactly.
Not anymore.
It's like, which is even funnier to look at retro games now. I'm just bringing this up because James is in a retro phase, so there's shit kind of lying around everywhere. A lot of them back then they did not know how to design a game, but the ones that did, they really fucking stood out, and that's why we're sitting with Mario being a colossal gaming thing as he is.
Right. Someone figured it out early
But
on.
now it's going the other way around, where the shit is getting celebrated and the good stuff is getting swept under. Anyways, that's my little rant. Just not happy to see that. But the people that do know it and do love it, glad they played it.
And if you don't, then consider it a recommendation.
I mean, here's on a more optimistic note. Soma reached 1 million sales. I just saw that in my Steam thing.
Oh, really?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Million Steam sales on PC.
I was gonna say, there was motivation for people to play that also because people knew Amnesia. Yeah.
And Amnesia's, it's a really great horror game too.
Classic.
Put effort into it.
Yeah. Then they tried to be like, hey, remember Amnesia? And it was bad.
Let's just keep celebrating the good things. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really glad you liked it too.
Yeah. I did.
I was gonna be surprised if you didn't, because it was well, I mean, you like good art and good music, and that's both here.
Night in the Woods.
In the woods. And
Yeah.
I was you'll probably realize it's a good game underneath too.
Oh, yeah.
You can't not drive a nice car and be yeah, this feels nice.
A nice car.
Yeah, this is a nice car. There you go. Man, that's how these go. It always we always just tangent off until we just crash into something.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any concluding thoughts in the game?
Concluding thoughts. I need to play it again. That's pretty much it. And that, just stuff I already said. I wish I got to spend more time with it. Wish this week wasn't rushed. Even for my own rec, I wish it wasn't rushed because I wanted to have more to say on mine as well. But we got to work with our schedule.
Yep, but at least we got to squeeze this in. It was
Yeah.
a very nice experience. Didn't get too often. If it wasn't clear, highly recommended. You're gonna want me to toss a number on it. So if ever I make a review or that stuff, maybe I'll put this clip in, or you'll put it in, whatever.
Okay.
Probably 9 out of 10 for now.
Awesome. I think
It's near perfect, near masterpiece. I still think there are a couple things that needed to be ironed out, but they're A few of them are nitpicks, honestly. It's probably gonna be a 10 by the time like I like dissect it more.
Yeah, I'm just gonna save myself coming back around on it later and give it a 9 now. Because I was thinking like, I'll give it an 8 and it'll probably go up to a 9. And since it's probably going to go up to a 9, I'm just going to give it that now.
For scale, Dark Souls is also a 9, and so is Spider-Man for PS4.
There you go. His favorite games.
Yeah.
I thought you decided Dark Souls was a 10.
Actually, no, I don't know. Maybe Spider-Man's an 8 now.
Ooh.
I don't know. Who knows? But what? What did you say?
I thought you gave Dark Souls a 10.
No, it's a 9. I can't. I don't think everybody who likes it loves it. You know, even if it's their favorite game. I don't know if they can say it's a 10.
Right.
They know. We all know. We're all in this collective like group of knowing.
Mm-hmm. All right, we did it.
And that's that. Well,
couple of 9s.
Hopefully, maybe I convinced one of you maybe to go check it out. I'm yelling at my friends to do so.
Yeah.
I might just yeah.
If you clicked on the video for the other thing we're talking about, hopefully you listen to this part.
You can just splice that. Because that was so, like, not specific to what we're talking about.
What do you mean?
You could say that. You can just take what you said and put it in any podcast.
But it's in this one.
But it's in all the ones now.
So
you're like, oh, I forgot to put timestamps in. Let me say this little general thing.
All right. So let's move on.
Yeah. No, wait. We're about to hit 69 minutes.
Yeah, but that's wrong because you went to the bathroom.
Oh, that's shit. So like 60 minutes.
Now we're
It's a very long pee.
It was a couple minutes.
It's a couple hours.
I got it on my phone here. Anyway, I'll be happy to hear
time
this.
my pee is good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be happy to hear this too. What do we got going? OK Computer. Radiohead. Someone had to fucking say it.
Yeah.
Now this is an album.
It is?
No, it's not.
Okay. So what'd you think?
Yeah, terrible. Why'd you give this to me? Clearly.
It's terrible, huh?
It's terrible. It's awful. 3 out of 10.
All right, well, I guess that was a good discussion.
There you go. I hate Radiohead.
So this is a big album that it's a lot of praise, a lot of love from Mew, I believe. Just like the Neutral Milk Hotel album, but they're very different albums. I'll say.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What'd you actually think?
I don't have the notes typed out, sadly. Although I wish I could.
Yeah, it kind of felt like
this album would be worth it.
I kind of felt like this one deserved that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that shit happens.
I kind of felt like there was a lot that you would have taken note of if you had the time.
I definitely, yeah. So we're in agreement there. I could have done that. Who knows?
Right. Did you get to listen 3 times?
Of all the things, like I wanted to write about like the things we're talking about in this podcast.
Yeah.
Like both of them. That's shocking.
Well, I assume you at least like this album. You're probably going to have more Radiohead in the future, whether or not you like this.
No, I hated it.
Okay. So I didn't know how to describe this because I said it's like kind of like, I think the word that gets thrown onto Radiohead a lot is experimental. And I don't know if that's because of this album, because it gets a lot more experimental after this album. But I think this is maybe when that term started getting thrown on them because it was such a shift from the Bends and Pablo Honey. So how would you describe it? It's a bit more progressive than what I usually listen to.
It is, but there are a few songs that are definitely like, oh, this is more progressive, but like as a whole, it's a little tougher to like pinpoint.
Right.
It's kind of more rounded, you know?
Yeah.
Like you got like a lot. There's a few songs that are much more digestible, you know.
There's some great,
much more simple too.
Great pop sensibilities on this one. I agree.
There's even a track that I don't even know if I can call it music.
track?
A track.
Yeah.
Well, it's a track, but like I can't call it music.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's kind of that's a front loaded ass question.
Yeah, because I tried to describe them. I was like, they're like in progressive indie.
I want to say alternative.
Yeah, sure.
If that's fair. To be fair, I don't know what alternative means. It's just like
yeah,
just kind of a word to throw around.
They were definitely still rock at this point. So
yeah, this is rock based.
They became more ambient, and they had all these different elements of different types of music and later stuff. But this one's rock based. It's just experimental for rock, I guess. For like Britpop kind of, which is where they came from. Like the Oasis type.
You could what you just said could also be applicable to Pink Floyd.
Yeah, well, funny enough, there's definitely some Pink Floyd inspiration heard on this album.
I mean, there's a lot of inspiration on this album.
Yeah,
I can name you like 10 different artists that I'm like, I can hear this in them. So
yeah.
like if we do that, it might be a bit dizzying.
Yeah.
I want to say alternate and it's rock, but I don't want to say alt rock because it's not that.
Sure. That's all right.
Yeah, I don't.
You can forget.
I don't know enough like words for genres, but like that's definitely like stuff to chew on. So,
right.
If anybody else can like describe it or do better than me, like just comment and I'll learn something.
What do you actually think?
You will contribute to my education.
Do you think this is just okay, or do you think do you like it?
Oh no, I hate it. I'm kidding.
I know you don't hate it.
I wanted to keep that bit up until it's like, oh, this track, it's really good. Oh yeah, this one I really fucks with.
No, yeah, I know you don't hate it.
At the end, it's like, yeah.
But I don't know if you really fuck with it or if you just think it's good.
It'll probably grow on me, honestly.
Okay.
It should have taken more than 3 listens, honestly.
I kind of felt like that because it's taking me a lot of listens, and I am a lot slower with this stuff than you, given. But going through their discography, I've still heard this one the most, and I still feel like I needed to hear it more. I could have benefited from taking another week for it, but I didn't have that. That wasn't in the cards this week.
Yep. So even though I am so like great and awesome in remembering these type of these songs and everything on this album, I will totally be able to like name every track and know what the song is like off of memory. So don't even worry, guys. I got it under deck.
So he won't be able to do that. There were still
what are you talking about?
There was still 1 or 2 where I needed to be able to do that as well. So this is kind of like noobs talk about OK computers, so that's kind of cool. Why not?
Noob and Noober.
Yeah.
Well, that should be our fucking podcast name.
Noob and Noober.
Noob and Super Noob.
Snoobier. Yeah. So I don't know. You can throw some general thoughts if you want. We don't need to go straight to track by track unless you want to do that.
Well, it's hard to talk generally on it, honestly.
Okay.
Well, like, this is almost okay. You know what?
I guess
I have a genre for this.
Having only heard Creep before this, are you impressed?
This is
by Radiohead.
I got an answer for your question.
Okay.
It's progressive ween.
Okay. Ween.
Progressive ween. That's the
new
ween genre. They're weenie.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the tracks are way different from each other. Like it's almost like shit. I thought this was this should be in another album.
Wow. Some
of them not. It's like enough to be like, oh shit, this is a concept. But it's like you get all these like sounds that are building. You get choirs and shit like that, and other synths that I don't know what the fuck are. And then the next track you'll get just acoustic guitar and singing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get fucking robot voice doing slam poetry.
Yeah.
And then you get like a balanced sort of thing where it's like just a band and some strings or whatever.
Clearly, like, technology is a big theme on the album.
Oh, yeah.
Technology taken over or whatever. It was 1997, so it was a thing to be worried about, I guess.
Y2K, oh, shit.
Yeah, like the opening track Airbag. I think this might be, or maybe it was the Benz, but Radiohead started using really cryptic and weird lyrics all the time, and this isn't an album where I want to focus on the lyrics, honestly, because I haven't looked into them like I did with Aeroplane or anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be impossible for me to tell you anything.
And Tom York is a huge mumble singer, in general.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But I do love his voice. He's a sweet baby voice. But yeah, right away in Airbag, he's talking about a car crash and the airbag saved my life, and that's like a form of technology that saved his life. But then we could go on, and it's just like a recurring theme how technology interacts with humans, and this idea of what's technology is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is also to a moderately tempoed, like chill kind of track.
Okay.
Where you get
hang on. We didn't talk about the album art.
I mean, I was gonna say that, but you were talking about the first track already, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna ruin his transition.
Yeah.
We'll do this. I'll bring it up later. And here you are, like, you know what? I'm fuck your
fuck your
fuck what you're
transition.
talking about. I'm bringing this back.
Hang on.
Yes, the album art.
Hang on a second. Actually, you can say whatever you want. I'll be right back.
He's gonna go pick up a signed copy. I'm pretty sure of it, or it's not signed. It's just a vinyl record probably. Now that he's gone. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to make of this of the album art. And I was just telling them I'm a total genius, by the way. Welcome back.
Thank you. A signed copy of this is like $2,000. No, I wanted just to have a bigger picture of it to analyze, and I still don't understand it.
God damn it! You went into a retro phase, and now you're like going full 80s on me.
I've always had
whipped out a
records.
flashlight and just whipped out a vinyl record to talk about. Dude, I think you're regressing.
I've always collected vinyls.
You're just like you're anti-technology at this point.
Well, it's my phone flashlight. Honestly, like at first glance, this looks like nothing, but it's a highway with cars on it, and it's just
there's a silhouette of a person, but like very big in comparison.
Top left. Here.
Also the blob over here.
Oh
yeah.
That
you look at.
I haven't opened this up and looked at the inside. So there's that. There could be more going on. The back has just...
It's an outline of an airport, looks like.
Yeah, you're right.
Like a blueprint.
In short, I have no fucking clue. I almost picked you up this album on CD because I was pretty sure you'd like it, but I didn't.
Oh, you could. I'd appreciate it.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I still might. I wanted to make sure you liked it first, actually. So cool.
But yeah. So, anyways, with Airbag.
Yeah, I'll put this up behind us like we're having a video podcast.
Yeah, almost, but we're not. So, we have the setup as if we did, but we don't.
Yeah, we could.
Damn,
we might.
what a tease. So, yeah, for Airbag, it's a moderately chill track. I do like how heavy the drum set sounds. It's like a heavy, but it's like a soft impact.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like a fatter kick and a fizzlier snare, and that really works off of the bass just plucking away.
Right. I do really love when
just the right timings to give that a little extra uplift, a little extra funk to it
when the bass comes in.
It's a bit of a groove, yeah.
Yeah, the bass is very groovy. I really love this is a song where when the bass hits, it fucking hits. And I'm gonna say on Airbag, I don't know what people generally think about songs on this album, but honestly, I think for this album, it's not the strongest track and a little weird to open on.
It is a very strange opening.
Yeah,
I thought that too, because it's like a very it's very sudden impact, like opening in.
Yeah, and
I think it says it's a guitar strumming a chord.
I don't know. It
just starts off with this sort of guitar immediately with tambourine.
okay. It kind my
It's
thing.
Like, what am I listening to Pinkerton? Like, what's going on?
It kind of like keeps this same feel throughout it. And how long is it? Like 4.5 minutes or so? I don't know.
Yeah,
most
once
songs
it gets
on here
going,
are.
once there's a drive in the groove that like I can latch onto.
Yeah.
I don't really mind the length of it.
Right.
It's the opening and kind of like the fact that's an intro where I'm like, this is a little strange.
Right. It's just like a little static and like it's introducing all these new sounds. It's kind of reintroducing Radiohead as a band, which like I said earlier, were you impressed like knowing only Creep from them?
This is still kind of. Was I impressed? No.
By this album, knowing
was I impressed
knowing
by-
only Creep before this?
Not impressed, but like pleasantly surprised.
Okay, that's good. Which again, I like Creep. I think it's a good song, but most their fans hate it and that whole album because they got a lot more experimental and
Yeah,
weird.
even still, this track is pretty like simple still. Like,
Yeah.
in how it's like composed because it's just the bass, which is kind
And
of the
sounds.
loudest thing, in the track that you can like really listen to.
Yeah.
And then you got these like weird modified strings sort of sound in the like in the far end that's just holding out chords, interchanging notes,
Yeah.
non-rhythmically to like just hold out the harmony.
The vocal melodies kind of abstract and not very immediate. It's
No, and it's
it doesn't
kind of
linger.
repetitive. Like it's just
Yeah.
not. It's kind of like all like going up and down on the same sort of register.
Yeah, it doesn't like get stuck in your head, this one really.
No.
But and just like in general for this album, I noticed the vocals are often mixed kind of in the back a bit more than you'd expect on just like a rock album. I don't know if you noticed that too.
No, with this track, yeah, it's pretty evident.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm like, I'm not really paying attention to the lyrics anyway because mumbly.
No, but it's like he's got a nice voice, I think anyway, and like I think his melodies generally complement the song pretty well, but they're sometimes like I said when we first talked about Jeff Buckley, I was like it was hard for me to get a grasp on some of those melodies because they aren't very repetitive or anything.
I don't know. I latched onto those melodies a lot more than any of the ones in here.
Sure.
Much quicker. I'm honestly neither here nor there on how his voice is.
Okay.
Then I guess consider it neutral.
Sure. So yeah, Airbag. I think it's good, but like it's weird placement. So yeah.
Sure.
Is that what we got for that one? Or do you have any other comments on it?
Nope, that's all I have for it really.
Cool.
Next track.
Paranoid Android. So a lot of people think this is like their best song.
This is one of the standouts on the album for sure.
I think so. I think it's a real good one. Weezer covered
a lot of
this.
different areas. Oh my god, really?
Weezer covered this. Yeah. It's kind of funny.
I can already hear Rivers singing it.
He never goes into the falsetto, so it's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It works though. It's weird. He's a good voice. But
you get a lot of like twangy sounding guitars
mm-hmm.
that kind of work as like it's like a mid-level bass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the born because it kind of like it evens out, you know. It has a bit of a bend like all the impact, but then it'll even up.
Mm-hmm.
And doing that on a bass can give a really like pretty unique kind of like funky like slide almost to it.
Mm-hmm. This is
But it's in like the mid-level, so
this is like the most progressive song here. Easily, I think. It's kind of got like 3 distinct parts to it.
well, you got like 3 different acoustic guitars doing finger picking.
Mm-hmm.
You got the main one, and then another one like higher, kind of like adding a bit of flavor
Mm-hmm.
onto it, and then another one's just adding nonsense.
Yeah. And then the vocals come in with one of the strongest melodies on the album, I think. Strongest vocal melodies at the opening.
Oh yeah, the vocal performance on this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I really dig that.
Hitting all those notes, he's holding them.
Yeah.
Good vibrato, all that.
Right.
It's like, I ain't got no complaints.
Mm-hmm. And I think like every 2 minutes it goes into a totally different kind of mood.
Yeah, the bendy sort of like guitar effect that they have going on, like it just helps to establish a sort of, I don't know what the fuck to call it. Just a vibe.
A vibe.
Because I'm from California.
Right.
I have to say.
He's got the
because it like I said, it just waves up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like it adds like a little bit of a hook almost, or like a little bit of swagger kind of on like the beginning of each note.
Right.
Like a lot more wavy feeling, because a lot of things are doing that.
I was going to mention that you've got the thing in your ear, so you've got the advantage of remembering stuff as we're going.
Yes, I'm remembering all this.
I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not. So
I'm recalling this from my memory. Thank you.
You're gonna sound much better talking about it than me, and you might. Well, I might say something, and then you'll be like, "Oh, but this."
That's
and
just just what I do for like my notes. Is I listen to it, and then I just start typing shit about it that I notice.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, do we want to talk about the kind of heavy section it goes into? I love the way that it comes into that.
I agree, and I can remember that.
The way, like,
that's actually me remembering.
And then like, and then like, when the guitar first hits that, like, when they kind of like go like,
I slide down.
Yeah, I love that, like how that hits, and then he just starts babbling with his lyrics.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun breakdown.
Yeah.
Nothing special though.
No?
No.
I think it's fun.
It's fun. It's very fun. I really like how like the guitar and the drums are just doing the same rhythm essentially, just like backing up on it, making it much more intense, keeping it really tight too. Mm-hmm. It's really fun to drive into. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day though, it's a really simple rhythm.
Okay.
Not much else, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think of music like that. So
I dig it. It's just like, yeah, it's just dun 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 dun, dun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I heard it somewhere before. Is all.
Okay.
It kind of gives that sort of vibe.
Sure. So that.
Or it's like, yeah, the punk beat is fun, but like, you know it.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing.
I'm trying to think. I have trouble remembering much beyond that. Like, there's that whole section, and then it kind of goes into this kind of slower, mellow part with long, like, vocal, like moaning.
Yeah, I'm at that part now.
Yeah.
It's, and then you get like some backing choir.
Yeah.
In the on the underneath, it's almost like a very It turns it almost to like a really exotic sort of melody, which is a little strange.
Yeah.
It's very cool that they did slow it down the way they did.
Mm-hmm. They had like some cool dissonant guitar kind of strings thing to transition it to.
Where it's kind of like you get the drums doing the impact on 3, so it's kind of like a pseudo sort of like slowness. Where
right.
Like it kind of breaks down. It's almost like a halftime sort of thing.
Yeah, I gotcha. And then it finishes off by picking back up into the heavy part. And that's pretty much the song.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the song.
The
very
best,
fun though.
The best Radiohead song.
Appreciate all the different stuff going on in it.
According to many people.
Yeah,
it's not my favorite on the album, but it's definitely a highlight. Sure.
I don't think Miso either. That was a broken ass sentence. Don't mind me.
Oh, okay, you're getting a water. Okay, you're peeing.
Miso soup. Your boy is real hydrated today.
Yay. And
Some
we're
good
here.
stuff.
Yeah, I remembered something else to point out about Paranoid Android, actually. Did you notice the Stephen Hawking appearance?
Oh yeah, the robot voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I may be paranoid, but I'm not an android.
Yep, that's like the first occurrence for that.
Yeah. Cool.
It's establishing that and the concept and all that.
Yeah.
Subterranean homesick alien.
Quite a
Rolls
name.
right off the tongue.
Yeah.
Subterranean homesick alien.
Uptight. That's what I remember about this one. Just Tom York screaming.
I was trying to turn that song title into the 8-bit digital boy.
8-bit digital.
Not 8-bit.
Okay. 21st
century digital boy. 8-bit digital boy.
Or Schizoid Man, are you talking about?
Huh?
Or are you talking about Schizoid Man?
No, 21st century.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what? Now you got me confused. Now I'm all mixed up.
Yeah, I think you were...
I meant the Bad Religion thing.
Oh, you did mean Bad Religion.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the
no,
King
not
Crimson.
the King Crimson thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Subterranean Homesick Alien. This one... Most of these songs have great production, which I told you about.
Yeah, you get this real, like, soft, mellow acoustic guitar opening up.
I don't think that's acoustic, but...
No, not acoustic. I meant electric. I meant electric.
Yeah.
I meant that to come out of my mouth, I swear.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah, you get like all the stuff fading into each other.
There's so many cool kind of like atmospheres and textures on these songs, and like they're just so well produced. Like that's what I was mentioning last week, is like the production was pretty like revolutionary on this one.
You get a lot of slidey guitars going on top of the already like, well, like when the voice comes in, the bass kind of takes over as like the foundation. Because this one's popping. Like the bass is doing work here. Like it almost takes over for what the electric guitar was doing.
Right.
But you get all the wavy like electric guitars, like sounds going up and down to go over the top, create that atmosphere of a very relaxed song. It's pretty neat.
And then less relaxed at the chorus, but I really
his
like
voice
that.
kind of just sits like comfortably in the middle section. Drives the whole thing.
Right. So in a way, kind of structured similarly to something like Airbag, but I like this one more, I think.
And then I think it modulates the pitch a bit on the guitars.
Likely.
Because it goes out of pitch a few times, so it's like, ooh.
Right. That wouldn't be only.
It does it later, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do. Like they must get the timing right, because like when it goes to a different, well, it doesn't go wildly out of pitch. Like it ends up hitting like close to another note. It's just not quite the same key.
Right.
So I guess that's the difference. That's not a note that's just going like wild crazy. It's just like it's adding a little extra bit of like ooh.
I think I read or heard somewhere that like almost every song on here was like performed live too when they were recording them, and then they went and like overdubbed all the other stuff.
It's like the same.
That's pretty cool.
It's like the same kind of dissonance as like a major seventh or a ninth would add. You know, just enough to be like, oh yeah, it's part of the chord. But that's like still in the key, so.
A lot of cool textures. That kind of just goes for the album. I think it's a very
they got a lot of stuff that is always painting like
very spacey sounding album. Very nice, and
they always got something that's going over top of it to give that atmosphere.
Wide feeling, yeah.
It's not like they're not doing anything either. It's not like they're just holding notes. They're picking around and adding a little bit of extra flair.
Right.
Well, I mean, the song kind of keeps going on with that. It just picks up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gets louder.
Yeah, I'm letting you go. You got the running commentary with it in your ears.
Yeah. I guess this is just like what it's like for my notes.
Yeah, live notes.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe I guess these are what the podcasts are going to be now.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, all right, I want
Just
you to
listen
talk
to it.
about this next week.
Yeah.
I will sit here and look at the album art.
Listen to it live. I'm mostly using it for the track list now.
Well, what did you say about this album? About this track? I mean,
Mostly I talked about its textures and atmosphere and production.
You dig it?
Yeah, no, I like the song a lot. I said to me it's like structurally kind of like Airbag, but I find this one more kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I like this one better.
It kind of just goes. You know, there's
Mhm.
not like a chorus or anything.
Well,
yeah, I enjoy
there's
the
kind of like a
conclusion.
chorus, but there's not too much to it. It's just him saying uptight over and over.
It's not like a whole contrasting one. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, there's some contrast, whereas Airbag kind of rides out the one kind of groove for most of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Exit music for a film?
Yep.
Apparently it was
Okay.
actually written for a film, for an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, I read,
Nice.
because he was asked to write it for that. It's funny to imagine this being in Romeo and Juliet,
I didn't know that.
but now I know like what the lyrics are about, so like it makes a bit more sense. The song is so ominous. It's kind of one of the first that sounds more sinister and kind of
Well, it's very low. You
Yeah.
know, it's very soft spoken. In a low, singing in a low register. Just
This-
him and acoustic guitar.
Yeah, this one's a highlight for me. I really love the way that this builds also. It has a very quick and explosive end. Like it could, if anything, I sometimes feel like it could ride that out a little more.
Yeah.
But the build is fucking mwah,
That's
chef's
what I would
kiss.
say is like the thing that keeps me around for this track.
The build.
Yeah. So like this, I feel like this track for me is an investment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, gotta get to that so I can get to the build. That's the good part.
Mm-hmm. I really like all of it, but yeah, of course I do. I like sweet vocals on a acoustic guitar.
And then, yeah, and it's choir for like a third of the song too.
And I like how kind of dark and ominous the lyrics are and everything. Which now makes sense, of course.
Oh, you know, this I just made a stupid connection. It's like, yeah, the choir sounds so robotic because they're like just changing the pitch all over. It's just like, oh yeah, it's a computer, yeah, technology.
Yeah.
No, I was like, it's not like it's working against the song or anything. It's in favor, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like oh yeah, like that's the descriptor I'd use, and it's like, oh, I just connected the dots.
Mm-hmm. I do think that the very slow build from just bare bones up until that kind of explosion at the end, like it's like a perfect payoff. With again my only thing being maybe it could ride that out a little longer, but it doesn't bother me too much.
We get that buzz bass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I noticed that too. I like that sound actually. I don't know if
I think it works a lot better in this track. Oh yeah, then it's doing that modulating thing. Oh yeah, that's fucking cool. The boo doo 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 that climb down.
There are some cool
off the
choices on this album for if you listen with headphones, like, which I know you usually do or
Yeah.
always do. There's some cool and interesting panning on some of these tracks. I'm mostly talking about the next song and not this one, but
I didn't notice any too wild panning, so
there was
I
just
guess I have to ask what you're referring to.
some interesting stuff.
I guess we'll get there. But yeah, now that that buzzsaw bass, like it works off of the kick that's really deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost like the kick is coming out of that same frequency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like this one. I don't know that I've picked favorites on this album, honestly. This is up there. I like it a lot.
Let Down.
This is a really good song also. This one's pretty standard. This one's kind of like a standard kind of poppier rock song. It's really good though.
Oh yeah, this is a driving in summer kind of montage.
Yeah. I really love the melody on this, but what I'm talking about with the panning in this is towards the end, they have the vocals in one ear, and then he just kind of starts, what do you call that? Like doing a vocal solo. There's a very simple term for it that
like
I can't think of.
freestyling.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Improvising.
Yeah, and then like in the left ear, he comes in like doing the rest of the melody, and it's just like a very interesting kind of dynamic when you're sitting there with his voice in both ears but doing different things. Yeah, I remembered because it's like my favorite part of the song where he's like, you know where you are with. Yeah, and then in the left ear he comes in continuing the melody, but he's like holding it out and doing some freestyling on the right ear. I like that. You've only got one ear in, so I guess you'll hear. Yeah.
I mean, I could put the other one in, but like, I'll
Yeah.
just take your word on it.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice it, but like, yeah, it's probably there.
Yeah.
Didn't pay a whole lot attention to panning.
Yeah, this is like a pretty.
This is passable.
It's a pretty standard pop rock kind of sounding song, and I really dig it.
I like it. Like it's serviceable on the album, but like I could vibe to it, but it's kind of forgettable.
Wow.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, I disagree.
It just kind of keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you feel more like this about this one, like I did about Airbag. But, yeah. That's that then?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I don't got much else to say.
All right. Karma Police.
I think this one's my favorite on the album.
Oh, you're not the hipster.
Am I a hipster?
You're the normie.
Oh, damn it.
Well, yeah, go to the front page. It's other than Creep, it's their biggest hit.
I'm shocked.
Are you?
No.
No. Okay. No, I love this song. I think most people love this song.
Yeah. I was like, this is a hit for sure.
It's a pretty basic one. I really love that.
The piano.
It's piano driven.
Guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
And a very twangy sounding guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of matches more with the piano's quality.
Yeah. I really love like kind of
you get really simple walk ups and downs.
You get a nice big sound with this one. Yeah, I just love the fullness that the piano brings to it.
Very simple, moderate drive, just walking up and down. Simple shit, but like it works out.
Yeah, one of the more immediate and catchy melodies, of course, too. I gotta say my favorite part of the song is the back half, though. When it kind of hits that transition point and he starts kind of like soaring. I think there's a key change.
So you get that little break with just him and the piano, all MCR style.
Yeah, and then for a minute there, I lost myself. That part, that's like probably my favorite part of the song.
I don't know, just this little bridge is going appreciated because I think there are a few tracks on this album that I think could have benefited from breathing a bit.
Sure.
Like taking a break between like
I don't know
these
exactly
wide
what part you mean, the little bridge.
where it's just vocals, piano, and like you get really soft choir in the back.
Oh,
it's like in that transitionary like kind of part.
The little like chorus thing.
This is what you'll get.
This is yeah. Right.
And
yeah.
then it can come back and hit you with that wall sound.
Yeah, I like what it comes into after that. the part I was just singing, and it does have like the choir thing going like ah or whatever. Not in that key at all, but yeah. And I love that he's just singing "Few" for a minute there. I lost myself over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's I think it kind of goes out on that. It has that
Yeah, it fades out
kind of.
after the
It's got that
yeah.
really loud noise looping in your ear.
Yeah, it's the like this radio like frequency that sequence to actually like be in rhythm and have some form of pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just crashes all the way down like as if it's just booting off.
Cool song.
It fades in as if it's like corrupting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking all about like thematic stuff and like what this does for that.
Yeah, and that's why like some people would see this as like, that's when the computer takes over, and then the next song is Fitter Happier, which makes sense, and then yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the song. I think it's definitely in my favorites also.
Yeah.
Probably no surprises there. Oh, that's
Well,
a song.
I'm the hipster army. That's what we found out.
Yeah. Okay, so Fitter Happier.
Yeah, Fitter Happier. Do we need to talk about this much?
Why not?
I mean, again, this is what I was saying to you earlier in the podcast that like
Help you.
yeah, I can't really say this is like, you know, a music track.
There's some like piano and stuff behind it.
Yeah, you got some like sort of like rhythmisms happening.
Yeah. If anything, like this one's obviously
like some semblance of pitch, but like this is more like
in your face with the theme of the album.
Yeah,
if you look at the words, it's like describing like it's the perfect human.
This is more like a this is more like a non like formatted like slam poetry type of thing.
Yeah. It's a
commentary artsy fartsy piece thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to call it.
It's like, I don't know. Do you appreciate it? Or?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I dig it.
Okay. That's cool.
It's just there's not much to talk about like musically,
Yeah.
you know, and it's more like
Didn't know if you
it's
felt
more like how am I gonna like categorize this and talk about it, you know? But like what's actually there, yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty cathartic to like just hear like all these things that is like I guess we all like want to work towards, or I guess would be the ideal goal. Is that that's what we hear, you know, like brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Like what makes like, you know, what makes you perfect and like how much that really is going to take.
Still kisses with saliva or something.
Yeah, and then it gets just real fucking weird.
Yeah. I thought it was funny because when I first heard this, I was like, this is definitely where the B side of the vinyl starts. I guess this is on double vinyl, and it's it says below all the tracks, logical track order. It says Eenie 1 through 3, Meanie 4 through 6, Miney 7 through 10, Mo 11 through 12. So I guess, yeah, must be a double vinyl. I haven't even opened it. Neat. Electioneering. The rock song.
I remember digging this one.
This one's like the Eternal Life, I think is what it was called on the Jeff Buckley album. Except I didn't really care much for Eternal Life. I do like this one, yeah. This one's got that.
This was the more progressive song.
I remember the chorus. I go backwards.
Oh,
you go
definitely
forward.
appreciate the amount of cowbell in the song.
Yeah, I was
That's for
gonna.
fucking sure.
Boom, boom. Yeah, there's a fucking cowbell.
Yeah, the only way it could be better is if it was in 16th notes.
I don't know.
I mean, wait, that's 30 seconds. That'd be even better.
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah. I'm surprised this one hit you as more progressive. This one hits me like a rock song.
At least
Kinda.
it's opening, because there's a lot of like electric guitars that are just kind of going around doing whatever.
Sure. Yeah, the guitarist.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, this track is all just pretty much rock.
Yeah.
It just keeps a sort of beat going on.
Yeah, it was. I don't know enough about this band yet. I think his name's Johnny Greenwood, the guitarist,
What's
the
his
lead
name now?
guitarist. He's really good, if that's his name, the lead guitarist. There's two brothers are in this band, the Greenwoods. They're two brothers.
Two brothers.
Yeah, I don't have a bunch to say about this one. It had to grow on me a bit because I usually, on like a more atmospheric and like kind of emotive or moodier album, I feel like it takes me a bit longer to appreciate the break into something heavier and more upbeat like this. But I've been coming around to it. I really like the melodies on it. It feels like it would belong more on like the Bends or something. If there was a song on this album that would be on an earlier Radiohead album,
Mm-hmm.
it would probably be this one. And that's followed up with Climbing Up the Walls. This one's a little weird. This one's slow and it's got some weird production on it. Sounds like ominous.
Yeah, it's very ominous. Like at least how it starts.
Yeah. And the way the vocals are, there's some really
You get some really deep, crunchy, like synthy bass.
yeah.
Yeah, synth in the bass.
There was a vocal melody on this one that was getting stuck in my head also. Climb up the wall. Yeah.
You did that at the same time mine did.
Ha, perfect.
I'm not even kidding.
I really do think it's a cool song. There's some feedback and stuff playing into it.
And you get some like really echoey drums too. Makes it sound like almost like empty. With
And it has a
with
build.
really droning synth sound.
I forgot it kind of breaks into this thing at the end. I like that. I saw people on the
Yeah.
I think people on the subreddit or the people in on YouTube comments or something were like saying like I wouldn't dare listen to that song at 2 a.m. in my house or something. I was like, what?
There's a lot going on.
It's
though.
a creepy
It's not that
song.
scary.
Yeah, I don't think so. I get it. It surely is ominous, but I guess it's about the lyrics are
It gets
pretty.
a bit dense near the end. You know, there's a lot happening.
The lyrics are pretty visceral, I guess. It sounds like it's about a psychopath or something, but yeah, I like that. It gets. I like that build into that kind of chaos. Cool. I think I really appreciate that one. So
Yeah, same.
next track,
That's a fun one to listen to. Yeah, next one.
it's a unique one.
No surprises.
Yeah,
See, this song I heard before.
yeah. I was gonna say, do you remember hearing it in Milad's car?
Yes.
Because
I remember hearing it before then as well.
okay, cool. Yeah, me too. Yeah, this is one where the sound of the guitar was altered. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe it's really hard to tell because everyone says something different, but the whole song was either slowed down or sped up, and I believe it was slowed down because apparently the reasoning was they wanted them to be able to play it cleanly on their instruments or something. I don't know. That's what the producer apparently said. So I think the key is somewhere between E and F, which is kind of funny. And that's a pretty interesting thing.
I
Because
didn't know that.
it's like this uncanny middle key that he sings in, and it's a pretty fucking depressing song actually, but it sounds like a lullaby.
Yeah, it does.
I love this song.
Me too. I knew like this is the hit, but like, oh yeah, this is really really nice to listen to.
Yeah, it's the other hit. There's like the Glockenspiel or whatever that is.
You also get like it almost sounds like a big ukulele.
Really?
Like in the beginning, yeah. You kind of get like a really light strum of a string instrument.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like happening. That yeah. So it almost comes off like yeah, like the opening is like, oh, this is Pinkerton, and then it's like, oh no, this is a white girl song. I don't know. I want to say it's a Patreon ad, but
It reminds me
it's
of
kind of Patreon addy, yeah.
it reminds me of Today by Smashing Pumpkins, because they've got the like ice cream truck jingle.
It does sound like an ice cream truck
at the beginning of that one.
It's funny. I like this opening, but it's funny to shit on it.
No, I really love it. I really love this sound, and like it does sound a little dissonant with the Glockenspiel or whatever that is. You didn't correct me the first time, so I don't know.
I think you're right.
Yeah. The lyrics are just kind of like it's about being an everyday dude, I guess. Working a job that slowly kills you is one of the lyrics. No alarms and no surprises. Like kind of that it's like a statement on we all buy into like the perfect life, grow up and have a nice house and garden and a wife and blah blah blah. Again, it's like I guess a form of becoming part of a machine, if you want to say that. So that's interesting. But yeah, it doesn't sound like a political song with like a huge message. It just sounds like go to bed.
Go to bed.
Yeah. It's also a favorite. I mean,
It's
I
very
think
easy to get the melody in your head too.
Yeah. The hits on this album are hits for a reason, I think. They're really great. They're great. I also really like the music video. And fucking grats to Tom York for going through it. The music video is just him in like an astronaut type helmet that slowly fills up with water.
No, it's pee.
It's pee.
It's pee.
Okay. And then
that's me. This podcast.
And then
I'm the astronaut filling with pee.
No, his helmet like fills up with water, and then he just like sits there for like a minute, not breathing, and then yeah, it's a good video, and it's real. Like they did that all in a take, and there's like outtakes of him getting like severely fucking pissed off and not being able to hold his breath anymore. Fucking GG's for going through that. Good vid.
Good vid.
Track 11, Lucky. This one is like very Pink Floydy to me. And I think that has to do with the harmonies that come
I
in.
felt like No Surprises should have been the last track though.
Really?
Yeah.
It
felt like a closer.
I really like the closer on this album.
Let's see, you got some really real deep electric guitar happening.
Yeah, here. This part right here. This part right here is so Pink Floydy to me.
Oh yeah, like the way the choir is doing their vibratos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very Dark Side of the Moony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Just from what I heard on this podcast, this sounded like a very Pink Floyd inspired one. And I agree. I do like the build to that too. The opening is pretty low key, sounds a little sinister, and then it doesn't sound sinister anymore once the chorus hits.
It's kind of a weird song to like latch onto, you know?
Yeah, no,
it's
I
going
agree.
like widely from one way to another.
Yeah. I agree. This one was one of the ones that I wanted to hear again once or twice before we talked about it because I didn't have a firm grasp on it. But the way I was remembering it was just like, that one's the one that I'm going to say is like Pink Floyd. So there you go.
Yep, I would agree. There's probably some other ones in there too.
Mm-hmm. I like this one though. I'd say I like every song. I wouldn't say I love every song, but I like every song for sure. The Tourist we close with, which also had to grow on me, but I found this one getting stuck in my head. It's a very dramatic.
You get the very like twangy, oscillated guitar.
Yeah.
That sounds out of tune.
Yeah. There's a very dramatic, long held out chorus. This is where he's just like, hey man, slow down.
Oh yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one gets in your head too.
Yeah. This one. There you go.
There you go.
It's a very pretty song.
By clicking on it.
That's
pretty much the song.
People argue this is actually the first song on the album, because apparently I read that the guitarist or some shit was obsessed with like the idea of like a full circle, like things come full circle during this time period. So if you listen to this album on repeat, then like this song could be about someone like driving and it's like, hey man, slow down. And then you get kind of like, you get the hit of the like ding of the glockenspiel or whatever, the triangle, I don't know, some like singular note at the end of the song. And then it just kind of ends. Yeah. And then you get Airbag and it's saying the airbag saved my life. It's coming.
You get this like real jazzy outro too with the drums. Core note triples.
There. Yeah. Ding. And then it just ends. So people are always like, this is actually the first song on the album. I think that's funny.
What? This is the beginning of the circle.
Yeah.
This is the edge of the circle.
Yeah, I like the song. I could also say...
Yeah, for me, which is funny because after this song, Spotify really wanted to play No Surprises again.
Oh, really?
Each time.
I was going to say Neutral...
I don't know why.
I was going to say Neutral Milk Hotel because for some reason, even though I think it sounds... I don't know how big their audiences overlap. Every time a Radiohead album finishes, I hear the beginning of King of Carrot Flowers Part 1, and I'm like, what are you doing? It doesn't make much sense to me. Unless Spotify's just like, you like Neutral Milk Hotel. So.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I thought it's supposed to play related stuff, but yeah.
No, I once had an album finish and it played Ocean Man.
Okay.
I forgot what it was, but it wasn't Ween. I can tell you that.
Well, if it was Weezer, maybe it would make sense.
No,
to go from
it
Weezer
wasn't
to Ween.
Weezer.
If it was like Pink Floyd, it wouldn't make much sense. But anyway, yeah, I do hear some Pink Floyd in this one too. Kind of Floydy near the end. Nice dramatic, longer song to go out on. And it's solid. That's it.
And it's solid. Yep, there it is. Man,
we did it.
What a circle we have come to.
Yeah, we did it.
So, well, we have this candle lit and everything. Oh yeah, we need to close this out. I forgot.
We do, yeah.
Man, I'm getting pretty tired. It's been a doozer of a podcast.
Yeah. So
very fun actually talking about a game again.
Yeah, let's slap numbers on it, and then we got a couple things to do.
We'll slap numbers like it's a fucking sticker.
And then we'll be on our way.
Well, you conclude it. I concluded my rec, so you got to conclude this one.
Concluded how?
Closing thoughts.
What do I think of the album? I think it's great. I think Radiohead has a really solid discography, and I think this is clearly a very important and major player in that discography. One of my favorites for sure. I still don't know if this is my favorite of
He's
theirs.
like, what the fuck are you holding?
Oh
He's like,
yeah,
"What the
no,
fuck?"
yeah. She can't tell what it is either.
She's doing that funny thing where like the cat looks straight up to look behind it.
Yeah, Coop does that a lot. I don't think this is my favorite Radiohead album, but I think it's a fantastic one, and these songs that I'm less sure about are going to become more familiar, and I'm going to love it even more, and maybe it could be like a perfect album someday, in my eyes. For now, it's pretty damn close. I'm gonna go with a 9.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think like I'll. What would change that is if I found some more like appreciation for like Airbag, for example, and maybe like Electioneering. I don't know. Yeah, but it's not lost on me how great the album is. I agree with people.
Well, this was a fun listen.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to get some overlap between like the stuff that we listen to here.
Yeah, I tried to give you something that you'd like, not just something that I like for once.
And I think I might be having some things that have some overlap too. That's the thing.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff happening.
Exciting.
I found a lot of the songs they start out really with some really great footing. And they all have like really good voicing and melodies. I don't know. It's tough to say to form like a full opinion on the album.
I think it takes more than 3 listens.
Yeah, I kind of need more, honestly.
You only heard it for the first time a couple days ago.
And I would want to write about it. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I do think some tracks that definitely don't hold their weight as much as others.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple things where I'm like, wait, is this the same album?
Right.
And then there's a couple times where it's like, oh, the song is still going, but like other times, in the same track, you'll be like, oh wow, this is a cool little groove they've got going, or like, oh, this sounds scary, and then yeah.
I was gonna say this from a Ween fan, but when you said, is this the same album?
I did say it was progressive Ween.
Yeah.
But I guess going through it again, like, yeah, they're more similar than Ween,
Yeah, no, I think it actually flows pretty well, but I wasn't gonna tell you can't feel that way. So,
well, I mean, correct me if I'm like if my descriptors aren't accurate, but yeah, I thought they were a lot more different from memory than now that we actually went through it, because a lot of them kind of operate the same, where like they'll have some build, there might be a bridge, but then they'll build and then it'll fade out. Every song's kind of like that. But yeah, I don't know where the fuck I'm getting with this. Anyways, I wish I had more to say, and more notes, but this would be one lengthy podcast though if we had it the way we wanted to.
That would have been good,
I wanted to,
but it's okay.
This would have been probably double the length, honestly.
I'll probably still get you this one.
And girth.
You could probably get more familiar and really like it.
Yeah, anyways, I guess to slap it, feeling a strong 7 to a light 8.
Cool. Awesome.
Transition.
All right.
Guys, we got a lot coming at you.
We do.
We just did. We threw a lot at you. It was an indie game and an indie album, but not really.
Very big album.
We got a very big boy album versus a little $10 game.
So what are we doing next week? Next week we are shit.
You forgot, didn't you?
No, I know what we're doing next.
Off-topic thing.
No, I know what we're doing next week. I think you forgot what we're doing.
What's off topic next week?
Yeah, it's not a recommendation. Do you remember what it is?
No. Probably something stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh yeah. I'm quizzing you.
Oh my god, this is even fucking dumber than I thought. I thought you were gonna like But they're gonna be like, oh yeah, watch season 1 of Total Drama. Come back to me.
No. I've put together a Game Shed / Shedheads podcast quiz.
You know, this explains last week's knowledge on how my opinion was on Trader O's.
Yeah.
That's a very particular thing.
No,
To
yeah.
hold me to, by the way.
Exactly. I think you'll do pretty badly on the quiz. It's going to be fun. Because you can't remember yourself. You can't remember me.
I don't remember anything.
I'm mostly quizzing you on you, though, because I think that's funnier.
That would be very funny.
Yeah. And I don't know. I like to think up dumb shit like this and play with it. So we're doing that. I mean,
Guys, it's a Game Shed quiz.
yeah, it's not like I'm in this
Whole
podcast. Yeah, so study up.
I ain't studying for shit.
I'm not obviously I'm not expecting anyone out there to know answers to anything, but it might be interesting to watch.
It's gonna be interesting to hear us talk about it.
To hear you be quizzed on your own shit.
Oh,
I like
boy.
watching shit like that, so hopefully someone else will think it's cool.
No, that should be make for an interesting type of show we got going on.
Yeah, I'm only worried about how quickly it could go through, so I'm thinking of adding to the quiz because it might be like 10 minutes otherwise. But anyway,
Well, how many questions you got so far?
like 30.
That's pretty beefy.
Yeah, but I feel
Quite a
like
bit.
I
Maybe
feel
more
like-
than 10 minutes for sure.
I feel like unless we tangent often, it'll be over really quickly because it would just be like, "What's this?" and then you get it right or wrong, and then it's the next one. It's
No,
pretty
yeah, we'll
fast.
probably end up tangenting depending on the context.
Yeah. Anyway, stay tuned to see how that goes. I know I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that should be interesting
For
for sure.
And
Think of it as the Shit Scholar Has Said podcast,
and other shit about
among
it's,
other things.
It's general channel knowledge too. So yeah.
There we go. So for then the next recommendation, is that happening now or does that happen next?
No, yeah,
week?
yeah, it's happening now. We're giving them out. And I'm giving. No, wait. Are you giving first?
No.
Yeah,
I don't
you
give
are.
Anything first?
You are giving first.
No, I'm not.
So get ready because you said we never talk about your thing first, even though it's even.
Son of a bitch.
We switch it off every time.
No, I feel like it's random as fuck.
Yeah, but it's not.
I feel like it's like, oh, so I recommend you something.
Whatever you give me now, we're talking about first next time.
Okay, whatever.
Or in 2 weeks.
I already got confused.
It's all good. Wait, I thought you knew what you were giving me.
I didn't know what I was giving you.
Really?
No, I didn't. I forgot.
Oh, motherfucker. All right. Stay tuned.
No, hold on. No. Fine. Well, let's talk about this. Let's do this. I said I had some overlap, because I think I do.
Okay.
We'll see how this goes. I'll toss this at you. You're getting an album. Yeah,
Cool.
like I said, overlap. Trick of the Tail.
You're
Genesis.
Genesis. Okay.
I've been listening to the shit out of that album lately.
Yeah, that's interesting because you keep telling me that Lamb Lies Down on Broadway is your favorite of theirs.
Hey, what?
You keep telling me that The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway is your favorite of theirs.
Yeah.
But
That's way more to digest. That's a double album.
Okay.
And there's a lot of intricate shit happening. At least for Rex. This one I feel like you would like is The Thing. And I've been listening to the shit out of it as well.
Cool. Well,
you get all the Genesis-y goodness, but there are a lot of very clear melodies throughout the album.
great.
It hits you. There's a few sound walls that'll kick you in the nuts.
Great. A Trick of the Tail. That's for number 54. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused right now.
I think whatever. It's one of those numbers.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. We'll know when we get there.
we sure will.
But yeah, 51 minutes. Same length as this.
Yeah.
As Radiohead. Okay, computer.
Mm-hmm. No, that'll be 55. Okay,
That's
cool.
53 minutes.
Cool. Yes, and it's gonna be double music, I guess, because don't say I didn't warn you that I'm gonna be hitting you with the musics.
I told you as well. I don't want to hear it.
Fucking, I wish that I gave you this album this week because you're gonna have longer to listen to this. But the past is the past. I'm giving you. The problem is I never decided because it's between two things. I mean, it's between two albums by the same band. And I don't know what will be the one that you'd like better, but I think you'd like one of them. So why don't we... Fuck it, dude. I'm trying to look out for you. I think you'll like this one better.
Okay, sick.
Not the one that I think I like better, but the one I think you would like better. I'm giving you the Decemberists. The Crane Wife.
Wait, what's the album name?
The Crane Wife.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they're an interesting...
Man, we both hit each other with the same looking album art.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what the Decemberists are classified as. Like, I guess an indie rock band. Okay.
Man, learn your classifications.
Well...
I'm tired of you not knowing what you're giving me.
Well, you'll see. Okay, it says genres: indie rock, baroque pop, indie pop,
Baroque pop, huh?
indie pop, indie folk, alternative rock, folk rock, orchestral pop. Those are all their genre descriptions. So, there you go.
Should be fun.
I don't expect this to be your thing as much as Radiohead, but I'm interested to see what you think.
Well, thanks for the warning.
Well, I don't know. You might like it.
We'll see.
There's some cool instruments going on. So,
yeah, and all I could say is
there's some progressive shit going on here too. So I know you like that, but it's like kind of progressive indie again. So indie folk.
Cool. Well,
yeah. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
2 weeks for that, and next week the Skylar quiz.
Oh boy, yippee me.
Join us. Thanks. Now let's blow out this candle.
Let's blow out the candles, get out of the shed. See you later, everybody.